Hello, everybody. How you been? How you doing? Life's been weird. This is the Trial by Error Variety Show podcast. That's where you have found yourself for the moment, for the time being. Settle in. I wouldn't call this a long-form podcast by any means, because I would sit and talk to some of these people all day long. And in fact, this is a short version of our interview. This is, 50 episodes later almost? We're talking to Acid Carousel. Talked to these guys back in 2018. They've released 4 full-length albums, 3 EPs, numerous singles, videos, played hundreds of shows since then. Have we grown as people? We'll find out. Have our views changed? Certainly. I think this one was interesting because I think we were both a little off the rails in some way, shape, or form. Oh yeah, and this intro by EMAPEA, Shaman's Medicine. It's on Bandcamp. Delicious. But I thought it was kind of interesting how unseasoned we both sort of felt in the moment talking to each other about this sort of thing. And we just immediately kind of connected as just human beings, as we should have. And we just sort of locked in to getting to know each other on that kind of level. It was interesting. And then slowly, as recording sort of died down somewhere else, the band piled in one by one, and things got a little even more off the rails. But made for a great conversation. And of course, sprinkled throughout this whole conversation, we're going to have tons of great music skimming their awesome discography, which is now in our collection on Bandcamp. Bandcamp.com/TBE Variety Show if you're interested in all the music we've accumulated. But I don't want to hold you up anymore. Let's get into this really fun conversation with Acid Carousel, my friends. So without further ado, enjoy the show.
Hey.
What's up, man? Was looking up last time we talked. It was February of 2018.
Yeah.
I know, man.
It's a long time.
It feels like a whole lifetime since then, really.
I know. It was a different world.
Mm-hmm.
The band was different back then, too. A whole different lineup.
I was revisiting some of your videos that I hadn't seen in over a year. I was watching, kind of as they were coming out in the beginning of the pandemic and stuff. And just that lineup, it seems like y'all changed kind of even since then, huh?
Before the pandemic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we were like rocking a 4-piece before the pandemic with Nick, who's with us now. He was playing bass when he could because he was living in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Denton. So he was kind of, whenever he could make it out for tour, we'd do that. And then it was us, me, Lucas, and John who've been in the band. John and I have been in the band the whole time. John started the project when he and I were in another band in Dallas. We started that band, then we met Lucas like fall of 2017. He's been with us since then.
Are y'all still living together?
Yeah, 4 of us live together. So
Okay.
We're in Austin now. And there's 5 of us, me, John, Nick, and Lucas all live together. And then our guitarist, David, lives like down south.
How have things changed in the living situation there? Because it's kind of like it felt like something out of like Haight Ashbury, like for a minute there.
Oh, definitely. Honestly, it's still kind of that vibe.
Okay.
Our house is kind of known in Austin for like the after hours spot because we have a pool at our house. We lucked out and got a pool, so we have that, and then just bunches of records and speakers and a jukebox. So usually, like whatever, there's like a show or we're all hanging out, we all end up back at our place up all night.
I picture like the Workaholics house.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's kind of like that, I guess.
That's definitely what I picture. With a pool, especially, like eventually somebody's gonna get a jet ski in there.
We put my kayak in there once, but there wasn't much room to go.
Yeah.
Just kind
And it's
of
like,
float
should we
there.
film something now or what do we do?
Yeah, exactly. Just chilling out.
Awesome, dude. So you guys are playing shows and stuff. Everybody feeling pretty comfortable out there. I mean, those.
Oh yeah, we loving the lineup we've had for the past year. So we moved down here just like a year and a month ago, and then right after we moved down, we got with David. I switched to drums and just started rehearsing. Did like a couple live stream things, which were weird. I mean, they sounded good. The whole live stream experience was strange to me,
Hmm.
at least, because there's no crowd.
Yeah.
So it's like play a song and then just silence. And usually that's like we always like just try to play as many songs like back to back as we can because we don't really like talking in between songs.
Hmm.
We're not great at stage banter. Um,
That surprises
so
me.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like we used to banter more when we had like less songs and we were. I mean, when we kind of started the group, we were just having so much fun. We goof off with the crowd, and then I guess we started taking it more seriously as we went on.
Hmm.
We still have fun. We'll still like goof off and stuff. I bought a sampler that I have next to my drum set, so that's usually what we play in between songs. We'll find like clips from like old movies or
Yeah.
different things we recorded or stuff on YouTube, just funny stuff.
Yeah,
We'll play
that could be a great way just to speak for kind of the mindset of the band too, is like just pulling
Yeah,
drops from wherever
yeah,
and
drops exactly.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You guys have always
jam
kind
up.
of done that. You know, you've had drops and samples and stuff in your music, which are
Oh yeah, we've
always really fun.
always been really into sampling, especially this record. So most of the boys right now are like John, Nick, and David, or John, Lucas, and Dave. They're recording right now.
Hmm.
That's why they're not here. They're doing guitar parts for the new record. And yeah, this new record is really like hip hop influence. It's not like a hip hop record, but there's like lots of samples and
Hmm.
it's fun. Like we're even sampling ourselves. Like the other week, we were just like recording drum loops for a song because like we're doing it to a click. So we're just like finding a 4-bar section. We're gonna loop that
Hmm.
for like part of the song, which is really cool. We've never done that before. I'm
Yeah.
really still, yeah,
Yeah, because it's like, especially the way you guys play live, it's you all kind of find an energy together. And if you're
yeah.
just throwing loops down, it's almost like somebody's gonna be just like, I'm gonna take a water break now. I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah. Well, the live band and we always have treated like the recordings and then the live show as like two separate entities, really. That's why we've like, I think we're gonna put out some live recordings, I think, because we're like, it's very different. I feel like it would be good to have that on record. And we've always talked about that for years. And we just started recording our shows. Because we're like, yeah, we all were really into that. Where like records are like sound like they sound in the live band. Like you go see the show because it's so different.
hmm.
The same songs, but it's just a different kind of energy, different performance, and you take it song by song. We've been playing a lot of new stuff too, which has been fun. Like when people come up to us after the show and be like, "Oh, what?" Like to the merch people, like, "What songs were like on these records were you playing?" We're like, "None of them." We'd be like, "I think we
Tried some
played."
new stuff tonight, all new.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's mostly all new stuff. Like we did the little Texas tour recently, and we were changing set lists out each night, but I think there was one night where we played like maybe 2 songs that had actually been released
Wow,
out of like 16.
man.
So,
So
and they're all like different records that we have written. Like, I mean, there's 5 songwriters in the band, so we have so many fucking songs.
yeah, I was looking at your catalog again today, and just it always blows me away because these are full albums. You guys have like what, six
Yeah.
full-length albums, four
Uh,
EPs, somewhere around
yeah,
six, seven maybe.
something like that. I lose count.
If there's six now, there's seven in like a
Yeah,
year.
and then we try to put out like a whole full length a year. Um,
And they're really good.
it's so trippy too because like being on the other side of it, a lot of times the songs are written like several years before they end up coming out.
Hmm.
So it's like you've been with them so long. By the time it comes out, you're like, oh, I'm so tired of that song.
Yeah. You're
But
like,
then you realize you're like, okay, this is still new to everyone else.
there's ways to make it fun though, like you said, doing it live and
Oh yeah, totally.
you know,
Yeah,
switching positions. You know,
yeah, we always like to trade instruments.
I call it switching positions. It's sexier that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, no, so far this year, I mean, like we've all switched positions on different stuff live. There's even a song we did where I would jump up and play guitar and David would play drums. We did a couple of those. which has been fun. It's been interesting, especially because I hadn't played guitar like forever. So I was, whoa, okay, this is what it's like to be up front again. It's like different because I've just been hiding in the back where I don't really see people, just like doing my thing. I'm still singing. We all sing. But yeah, it's a whole different dynamic, which I kind of like. I really like being in the back again.
Yeah.
I feel like it's also like there's less pressure and there's like less eyes on you. There's more pressure in the way that like if you fuck up on the drums, like everyone notices.
It's a train wreck after that.
Who dat? Yo, jumping boys. Yeah, we're doing a little interview right now. Hop in. We got Lucas and John just came back. Yeah, I don't remember that. Must be 2018. An interview with this guy. Where were we? I guess at our house.
Yeah, well, y'all were up in Denton, and I think I interviewed like 4 of you. What's up, man?
How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah,
it's going good. We're just talking about changing, having the dynamics change, and from the versions of when you recorded to when you hop up on stage, kind of, you have these old songs, and being able to sort of make them new again. A, in the performance, and then B, in the fact that now I'm playing the drums, although I recorded the bass, kind of thing. So
yeah.
Keep it as fresh as you can, I guess. But we don't have to stay on that. I'm just getting you up to speed to where we're at. But yeah. So were you guys recording? Doing some recording this now?
Yeah,
it seems like you record all year with the amount of music you guys put out. But
yeah.
I tried to. All these demos and stuff. I know you're always working on stuff.
If not actually being in a studio, then definitely like demoing out stuff pretty constant.
Do you guys always have a room in your house dedicated for that, or do y'all go separate for studio stuff?
Yeah, it's basically we had a studio here, but our neighbors kind of make it hard for us to use it. It's a garage.
Yeah.
It's really just these one neighbors across the street from us. We don't care for each other too much.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But when you live in a town that's so accepting, but then you have the neighbors that just don't get it. They just don't get like what's going on out here. Like,
I know.
We just uprooted and moved here to try to like do this for a living. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you moved to the music capital for peace and quiet. I get it, but I don't at the same time.
More people are moving to Austin for a lot different reasons now.
Yeah, totally.
There's a lot of technology people like who work from home.
I think I saw Netflix even open something up here.
Oh yeah, that's
crazy shit. Yeah.
Netflix opened up in Austin, right there.
Yeah, they had they rented out a space or something. I can just.
They have like a studio over there.
Yeah, we're New California now.
Of course. Well, it's burning down, man, and Texas is cheaper. That's the bottom line, really. It's cheaper.
It was funny. We were hanging out once. This is earlier in the year. And we realized all of our friends we were hanging out with that night were either from California or from Dallas as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the pipeline down here.
Dallas is another place you need to escape from. What was that last part?
Oh, we're part of the problem.
We moved down here too.
Yeah, we moved down here from North Texas too.
I wouldn't say you're part of the problem as long as you can contribute in a way that's positive, if you come in and you start clearing out, I think the problem with more people moving in is they're not utilizing spaces that are already developed. They're developing more. And I think that's when it kind of starts taking away from the ambiance of Austin, because it was always, for a long time, sort of a natural place, a natural big city. And now there's no natural left in it. It's just a city that's all packed up.
You just see it every time you drive into downtown. You just see the skyline of cranes everywhere. Just building. It's weird too. They're building these giant condos across the street from Hotel Vegas, and like that whole strip is so different, like already from when we first started playing down there. It's just weird to see. I still love it down here. I'm much happier being here than Denton, even though I love Denton. Yeah,
Denton. There's still a lot of fights on the street at night and stuff. As far as like the nightlife, it's not very different as far as like the club life. Yeah, I saw a fight last night actually outside Hotel Vegas. Yeah, every time I go to Austin now, I see a fight, and I'm like, it didn't used to be like this, but I mean, they're not fighting me, but it's just still, you're just like every time, man, people are aggressive now. it's alcohol fueled. It's always alcohol fueled. It's never the stoners or the trippers, you know?
Very rarely, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, man, chill out.
I saw a guy get beat to a pulp, and we had called the cops, like, and the ambulance, and then he woke up, and we're going like, "Hey, man, we let him know about all this, the guys who beat you up and stuff." And he's like, "No, don't tell him about that." Like, what do you want us to do? You know? He's like, "Just it's cool, we're not pressing charges." I'm like, "Yeah, this guy almost killed you." And he's like,
no.
"We started it though."
Yeah. That's like down in OKC in those cars. They hit
Oh.
each other and they both left.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was so gnarly.
What happened?
We were in Bricktown in Oklahoma, and
Oklahoma City.
yeah,
It's-
Oklahoma
it's part of
City.
their club portion
Yeah.
of the city.
Nightlife.
nightlife. We were driving the van, and I was like at a red light, and these two cars, I think one of them turned in, the other just smashed into the
One
back.
of them just ran the red light.
Literally just
Yeah.
ran the red light, and then they didn't stop or nothing. Both just flew the scene.
Like, we gotta get
We gotta
hit
get out
it
of
really
here.
quick because there were cops everywhere.
Yeah. And this was like right in front of us, and we were like, "Oh shit, maybe we don't need to go to Bricktown."
Yeah, we
Wow.
were like, yeah, we get stoned at home.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Taco Bell instead.
Hit and runs are nuts, man.
Yeah.
I've never been in one myself. I had a buddy, this was like 15 years ago on the interstate. Something similar happened where he was trying to exit and somebody hit him, kind of sideswiped him, and he pulled over at the next exit, and he said it was this girl that was just trashed. And he's like, "Well, like, should we call the cops here? Because you're gonna get arrested." And she's like, "I'll do anything." And that's exactly how this story ended. And he felt like really shameful afterwards. Like, I shouldn't have taken advantage of her like that, He's like, "But she fucked up my ride." But to me, it's like a hit and run is insane enough, but for it to have an ending like that is just like,
Awful.
Sounds like a shitty end to a shitty situation.
it's very, very, yeah. The hit and runs are like, it's just there's not really a good ending for anybody
No, it's
in
not a
that
good
scenario.
situation.
Keeping that story in though. But anyways, so I was just today, I don't know why I had heard this album probably 6 months ago, the one you guys did with John David Bartlett. Listening to it and hearing the voice, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this has to be some sort of legendary character in this whole scene. And it wasn't until today that I just looked him up and realizing how long he's been around as an integral part of this scene. Yeah, this psychedelic scene, this Texas psychedelic scene.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of different scenes all over the town. Like, he's really kind of now, he's like I don't know what the word would be, like the Wizard of Fort Worth or something.
The
like,
Wizard of Fort Worth. Wow.
He started out in Houston, and then he went to Austin.
Yeah,
and he was also like really big in the Austin punk scene. He managed Raoul's, I believe, the venue, or he did some stuff at Raoul's.
Carnival of Dreams.
And then Caravan of Dreams, which is like a
Caravan.
whole jazz thing, which I think was in Fort Worth.
I think so too.
Yeah, he's
Probably
done a lot. He has a story about literally everyone.
Yeah.
Like
Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin,
Jimi
Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah.
all those people. Yeah.
everyone.
Such a cool. I was really taken aback by the artwork. Just, you guys are kind of known for like the eccentric sort of look everywhere on this album to find something, and then here's just very kind of shamanic. I don't know how you would put that, almost like shaman Bible-esque. I related it to the Be Here Now book, is what it reminded me of immediately.
Definitely, it's got a lot of that,
that was-
imagery.
Yeah.
The whole album was John David's vision. Like, it was all his songs. It was kind of us more being like a backing band.
Yeah.
But we still had. We'd riff off each other, have ideas.
Mhm.
I mean, he's one of those guys that's like, he was probably so close to becoming an acid casualty. So he can't even play guitar really anymore. Like, he can show us the chords, but he's got no rhythm anymore.
Yeah.
It's just gone. So
Wow.
that was a big challenge with working on those
Yeah.
songs. So he'd like play him, and then we'd be like, okay, I think he means to be like
Yeah.
2 bars of this, even though it sounds kind of like,
It was weird doing it live too, because the same thing. Like, when he'd really get in the zone, he'd just go off, and we'd just be like playing the song, like the arrangement. And they'd be like, "Oh, he's singing the verse again." Oh boy, he wants to do
Yeah.
3 chords.
Whatever he
Boy.
wants to.
That's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it was fun.
How many shows did you get to do with him, and like
Uh,
where?
couple,
like 3
yeah.
or 4.
Okay.
something like that.
All there in Austin or up in Fort Worth or where at?
Fort Worth,
Just one in Austin.
Was that
Denton.
Swan Dive?
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever did Dallas.
No.
We did like
No,
2
I
in
did
Fort
Fort
Worth, and then like 1 in Denton and 1 in Dallas. No, 1 in Austin.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to do some more, and the old COVID thing happened, and we were like couldn't hang out with him.
Yeah,
He's a very old man who has like health issues. And stuff.
definitely. Don't want to put him in the danger zone if you don't have to. Yeah.
This is great. I'll talk to him on the phone all the time.
Did he share like his really good because he had that good acid. You know what I mean? Back in the day, it's like
From what he says, yeah.
From what he said, he told us the story that he was like, I think I was an MK Ultra or something like that. Because he's like, we took so much acid, and none of us ever paid for it. It's
Yeah.
just always there.
Yeah. Apparently, it was just a table full of just acid, and you could just take from what you wanted. So they did it all day, every day, for like a year. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's what he said.
It
Yeah.
was like April of 68 or 67 to like, it was like over a year, like a year and a half doing so much acid every day.
He was like doing 200 milligrams like every time he was taking acid, which was multiple times a day.
yeah, definitely.
I forgot the exact dosages, but he was like, we do this much 3 times a day. It's like more acid than you should ever do it one time, 3 times a day.
Yeah. And then you wonder why Rocky Erickson, like near the end, like he
Yeah.
also couldn't play. He was just sitting in a chair, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, his mind was moving too fast for his hands.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of those people, man. Sky Saxon's another one.
Yeah. Brian Wilson, like
Yeah.
I've seen his band, and he's just sitting at the piano, like turned to the side singing, and he's like, the piano's there. It's this beautiful, like grand piano that he's not playing.
Yeah.
He's just like putting crayons on it.
I was saying, I'm thinking about the piano thing.
Yeah.
3 guys have to move it on stage every day, tune it up, and like keep it nice. They probably.
I feel
polish
like they
it.
just don't tune it. They probably don't.
Yeah, they probably don't.
don't.
Probably a mic. The mic on there is not even live. It's not plugged in. Oh, for sure. There's a guy behind the curtain.
There's a backtrack.
When I saw George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic, it was all their backtrack.
Hmm.
It made me kind of sad,
Interesting.
but then also
That is interesting.
you think about how much drugs fucking George Clinton did.
Yeah. He's like, well, it is me playing it. It's just
Yeah, like, I did play this once.
way back then. Can't do it now.
They just need to be black.
I was like, this sounds like a weird mix, and then I like started paying attention, and I was seeing that like the cymbal hits coming through the speakers and the cymbal hits coming like the dude playing them were not quite lining up. And I was like, oh, weird.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not sweating it though, you know?
Oh, he didn't care. He was having a great time.
Yeah. He's just up there having a blast.
He was on
Yeah.
a blast, he was smoking doobies on the stage. Blues.
Like he's so good. Right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Just eating a sandwich.
like 14.
It's
Yeah.
good.
I was with my dad who actually saw P-Funk like in the late 70s, and he was like, this isn't as good as it used to be.
Yeah. It goes downhill quick when you go, dude, those bright stars. What was that? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
We're just riffing.
Yeah. No, keep it up, man. I was just getting to whiff the riff, and then I said something. Killed it. Keep riffing. started watching bands kind of reactivate again, and I saw you guys starting to put whole weekends of shows up, and just I know how hard you guys go, and I also know being a part of that audience how compact everybody is and how sweaty everybody is and how like touchy feely everybody is. There's no stopping that, you know. There's no like sign that's gonna say like stay away from your friend. You're gonna be crowd surfing. You're gonna be taking your shirt off because it's like, you know what I mean, everything's hitting all at
It's
once.
a weird situation because like right before we did this like Texas run, it was like right when all the Delta shit started happening.
Hmm.
They like
Yeah,
required
yeah.
masks inside venues and stuff. We're like, how crowds were getting like people were staying home again. We're like, how's this gonna go? And like the first night, we're like, oh, okay, it's still
Yeah.
still the same.
Yeah, I know.
Especially it's like nobody gives a
Dude,
fuck
big
here.
time.
Yeah, like even the woke people, we're all like, oh, we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's strange because the Delta, it's like you just touch, or, you know, some of those are like you just touch it. So, like, the whole mask thing is irrelevant. And I'm like 100% not like, I don't believe I'm right about anything. I just think, um, I don't know, it seems like it's a little overblown if it's like everybody can get it. I get it. So many people are dying. Man, I'll probably take shit for this, but I just I
You're like,
just it's like
Oh,
so many more people are living. I'm trying to be positive. That's all. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
be positive from it, you know? And I'm thinking like does the people who get the antibodies probably feel great? Like they probably feel like I can't wait till the next show where I can stand next to somebody and not feel like I'm gonna get this thing that's gonna kill me because I it was just a few headaches, you know. And I'm not saying that's everybody because I know people that have died, but
yeah.
it just seems like life has to go on, right? That's all I'm trying to say.
It is weird, you know.
It's really gnarly.
It's a dilemma of the mind.
Yeah.
Because there was a while where I was like super like paranoid about it early in
Mhm.
like the winter, and I'm also my bartender, so I was around people all the time. So I was getting tested like every week.
Yeah.
Then I got the vaccine, and I was like, "What's up, y'all? Let's
Yeah.
fucking go!"
And then they're
Yeah.
like, you can still get it. You're like, what?
Yeah. And then, and then we started playing shows. And we're like, "Yeah, let's fucking go!" And they're like, "Delta." We're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll wash my hands more.
I think that's really all it did. Maybe we just got some better habits from it, you know. I don't want to stay on this too long because it's just so overblown, but I mean it is such a part of our lives, you know, as far as like audience member, you had the decision to put on a show which puts some people are going, oh, it's putting people at risk, and I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna make those decisions, but then
Some people, like a lot of bands, have been dropping off
mhm.
shows,
Yeah.
canceling shows lately because they don't like want to see themselves as part of the problem or anything.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
It's a risky kind of risky business.
But at the same time, that's
like-
it. That's what it is, though. It's business. And if
That's the
those
thing, too. I mean, I've played a
businesses,
couple venues, and it's like places can't afford to close anymore.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
stopping
It's
all
not
the
on. It's not an
support.
option.
We already lost like clubs from it here in Austin.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
Barracuda,
yeah,
one of
one of
our
our
favorite places to play,
places.
is now like some comedy bar. And
Yeah.
It looks super gentrified.
The
Like
Creek in the Cave is a
Creek in the
horrible
Cave.
fucking
Yeah,
name.
it's
I hate that.
That's some like early 2000s folk like band name.
Yeah. Oh my
Creek
god.
in the Cave. Yeah, where they go, hey, oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're still around. But that's what I mean. It takes effort from everybody, audience members, bands willing to play, because the bottom line is those venues are willing to take the risk to say like, hey, you know, like we want people who are vaccinated, of course, but also historically, like nobody here has really been right about what's going on because it just keeps mutating and everything. So it's like you said,
Like,
they
you're
can't
right.
afford to close anymore.
Weeks or something, you know.
Yeah. If there was a
But also,
Changing.
it's weirder than that because Texas is also like you see like places like California, New York are requiring vax cards to go to like every show.
Mhm.
Most clubs are, but here Hotel Vegas tried to do that one night, and the TABC, Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, straight up like hit them up and was like, if you do this, we are revoking your license because the license is through the state
Wow.
and you're going against the state rules. Where you can't do that. Like you can't even require masks anymore. It's technically illegal. Like someone can just say, fuck you, I'm not doing it, and you can't remove them.
yeah.
Yeah, Texas is pretty wonky right now
Yeah.
politically.
Definitely. No,
Going backwards.
Yeah.
I'm in a
lot of-
quarantine right now, man. My 7-year-old has COVID, and
Oh,
she's
shit.
fine. I'll be 100% honest with you. She was sick one day. This is like day 4 of her having it. I will say, if this is the only, if this variant is mild, and I mean, and it created antibodies that would allow some sort of prevention, I would say this would probably be the one to go, because she only threw up like one day, and then she's just been like high energy, stuck in a corner, stuck in her quarantine. Like, let's go outside. Can we do this? I'm like, she's fine. She just tested negative, but she's fine. Meanwhile, there's people on aspirators and stuff. Like, these two different worlds we're living in almost with this virus. But bottom line is, like you said, it's so wonky that,
Yeah.
as yeah, another touchy one we won't go into.
It got super political. I mean,
Yeah.
all of it.
course
And
it
then
did,
that politics breeds sides, Democrat, Republican, everyone's so
It just makes us go
this
like
is my team and I'm going
anymore.
to follow them no matter what, even though
If you want to know my team,
I might
fuck
not
you.
agree with everything.
But that's not just a virus. That's anything. The Olympics does that to people. You know what I mean?
yeah, totally.
Like, how dare you root for
It's all
Russia?
stuff about the platform than actually have your own ideas. And that's why people go to parties,
Yeah. I'm just all for people living their life as best they can, trying to be as cautious as you can of people, but also, you do have responsibilities to the rest of mankind, but also, you have a responsibility to like your craft as well that you've been honing, and like these venues that are allowing for your genre of music, which is also rare. You know what I mean? I'm just talking to you guys particularly. I mean, the psychedelic movement, it's like a lot of people will just turn their nose up at it because they don't want the wildness or whatever, but they don't understand that this is like very well put together and very well rehearsed, and it's just like anything else that's being made out there. And then for those places to close their doors on you, it's paranoia on top of paranoia when you think about what you've sacrificed just to get to this point a year and a half later or whatever it is, and now they're going, oh, okay, well, you were not going to let any of your fans in because they chose not to get vaccinated from something that we have no idea. I commend you guys for going and still playing shows and like contributing to the movement that's still happening.
I mean, choice. It's what we love.
Yeah,
we wanna
exactly.
do
Our
this.
souls were
We don't wanna
dying, man.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
Baseball, do something.
Yeah.
I was really losing it towards the end.
Start a
Yeah.
softball team. Yeah.
I was having my bi-weekly existential crisis where I'm like, I'm never gonna play a show again. What have I done for the past decade of my life? Like, shit.
Anything. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Once we finally played that first show, we were like, that was
Like a
nice.
breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I want to do this again.
Yeah.
And even if it's not as frequent, it's still showing people like, hey, if you're willing to show up, we're willing to show up, and these businesses have our back. And to me, it's like that's the kind of solidarity in this time that kind of stands out to me, as opposed to just fear running all of the decisions being made. So
Because no one's taking advantage of it. Like, they're appreciative of it. Both us as the performers and like we're also fans of music.
Yeah.
When we go to the show, like people want to play and people want to see music, and now I think they're more appreciative of it being like, oh, like this could easily just disappear again. We were without it for so long, and I think especially with just how the world was getting before the pandemic, it was just like a lot of hustle and bustle and so much going on that people were kind of burned out on just like all this stimulus of everything, not just live music, everything. And when we had that like kind of stripped away, I feel like now people are like burnt out on fucking Netflix and all this stuff where they're like, oh, let's go outside, dude. Let's go like read a book,
I missed the
Let's
sun.
let's go see some music. I'm gonna ride a bike, which is I think that's one positive thing that the pandemic brought.
I agree. I think maybe it wasn't long enough for a lot of people to have their gratitude back, because they're still fighting. People are still losing it. But
People just like to fight.
Yeah,
Like that
really.
shit.
they got real good at it during the pandemic too, with like just talking through social media. It's like really know where to lay it in.
When they go see another person, they're like, huh.
Yeah.
They're like, wait,
Oh my god, there's that person I know. Fuck
I
them.
can't be my internet persona.
I gotta
in
leave.
the real world.
Nature was feeling pretty confident there for about a year. Like, dude, we got it back. We got it back. We can run these streets. I remember there was just like deer all over the street here. It's like now I don't see them anymore. Could have been that weird freeze we had. Killed everybody, but
Yeah.
killed everyone, man.
That was another. Yeah, it was a weird fucking year.
Yeah.
Or more than a year, really.
Yeah, it's been strange times, especially okay. So the last time I talked to y'all was February of 2018. I mean, it was like basically a fresh year.
Yeah,
You
I was
know?
like freshly after Lucas joined the
Yeah,
crew.
literally. Yeah, we were freshmen in college. I
Yeah.
just moved to Denton that
Mhm.
previous fall.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you're still very young, still very like able to rejuvenate after a good night of partying and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
So, yeah.
Depends on the night.
Yeah. No, you'll notice a difference at like 30. It'll just like after one of those shows, you'll be like, dude, it's 11, man. We need to go. We need to go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just gonna be like,
Even now, it's usually doing like a little, even though it was a short tour, it was only like 4 dates, but usually like when you're just playing one show every month here, you know, in Austin or Dallas or wherever, where you're like surrounded by friends and stuff, it's like
mhm.
partying after this. And then when
Yeah.
we go back on the road again, like I remember like the third day, I was like, oh, my hands are sore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm tired.
it's happening quick. It's happening too quick, man.
That's also Texas, like that's where we're all from. Like we have friends
Mhm.
all over, so it's easy to get carried away. It'll be easier when we're playing in like Boise and we got to drive to
Yeah,
fucking
it's literally
Oregon the next
nothing you
day.
can
You
do.
think
I'll
so?
be like, well, I guess we'll just go and drive,
Yeah.
and I'll sleep with them.
It depends though. I mean, like that southern tour we did before everything shut down was pretty crazy.
That
Like,
Yeah,
was,
some-
I was having
dude.
fun.
yeah, yeah. Just some
Four of
interest.
us.
The Southerners are wild.
Mhm.
Because there are people, you know, we are
Yeah,
Southerners. We're all Texans. So I don't know. I've always noticed that when we go to the north, it's like we're all like, yeah, and everyone's like,
Hey guys, yeah, tone it down.
Yeah,
who the fuck are you, huh?
You
Different
didn't
vibe.
earn this energy. No.
Hey, what's up, cowboy? Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned what Southern hospitality was, and we went on that tour.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really friendly, but then the more you talk with, like almost everybody I met, it's like, oh wow, this is a great person, and they're like, yeah, and that was but that was the first time I went to jail, and then I went to jail again for meth, and you're just
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
all you
Yeah.
people are really nice, but you got some bodies for
I
sure.
remember playing pool with that guy in
Dude,
Birmingham.
yes,
We
totally.
we were at the club early. We were just because Lucas and I
Hanging
like
out,
playing pool. We were just
yeah.
playing pool with this guy. I was like, hey, can I join pool table with y'all? We're like, cool. And we were just chatting with him, and then like he looked like a really nice, like sweet dude. And he's like,
Very
yeah,
quiet.
I've been up for 4 days playing pool, dude. I've just been doing meth and playing pool.
Awful.
We're like,
Nice guy.
okay, right on. He's like, yeah, I'm getting a little tired now. And then he like left, and I literally saw him buy more meth in the parking lot.
Jeez.
And they came back and he just kept playing pool.
He's like, you guys want to go again?
He's like,
Got a
"You
big old
quarters?"
blister. Jesus.
Birmingham was
That was
weird.
Birmingham's
one of
the weirdest place
cities
we've
One of the
ever
weirdest
played.
places we've ever
Agreed.
played.
We
Agreed.
also
Dude.
got there way too early.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had nothing.
We
to do
played
that day.
Atlanta the night before, and it's only like an hour and a half drive.
yeah. We like tried driving around town to find stuff to do. And we're like,
Fucking
there's
stuff, man.
nothing actually.
We went to what was that Lookout? That's pretty much the
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah,
of what
we went to
did.
that record-
That was kind of nice.
That was and there was that cool record store, but
Yeah.
it's like a record store that's like, okay, that was half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of it is
Yeah.
just driving around trying not to get mugged. That was my experience in Birmingham. Was like everywhere I went, it was like just shady people everywhere I went. And as soon as I got out of my car, they'd all approach. I'm like, what is happening here? You know?
Well, I've been there a few times before too, and I have family there. And it was like one of those times where you're like on the road, and it was like that late in the tour. We're like, I'm not calling my aunt. I don't really want to hang out with them. Like, stay here. And do our
She doesn't
thing.
follow us on Instagram or anything. So
I don't really want to go talk about God right now.
Yeah.
I think we ended up staying at that venue. We played at like 1 a.m, and then we stayed there till 5, trying to find a place to stay. Like stay the
Well,
night.
there was this one guy who really wanted us
Oh,
to stay
dude,
with
Yeah,
him.
that
but
dude
he was gonna
so
kill us.
strange.
And we
That's
were
what-
like,
That guy
we are
wanted
not
to
staying
kill
with
us.
you, dude.
Yeah, he's
He
giving us.
wanted to-
He's like, you can stay in my basement. And
yeah, he's
we're
like, there's a lot of skin in this band. Huh. It's a big
Yeah,
band, a lot of skin.
Well, I don't know. He also did about money and shit, and he like wanted to buy one of everything from us, and he's like, I
Try
got
to
40.
haggle with us.
He's like, I got
dude.
$40, and we're like, this is like $100 in merch. I don't really like you. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not cutting you a deal.
And he started showing us like videos of him playing guitar. He's like, "Oh yeah, I can play guitar really well, guys. Like maybe I
Yeah.
can like join y'all or something, get on the road." And he's just like being
Yeah.
really,
This
is
yeah,
my
nice about
girlfriend.
it. We're just like,
Yeah.
"What,
He's showing
dude?"
us like pictures of his girlfriend. He's like, yeah, she lives in Iran. We've never met.
Yeah. I feel like the vibe in Birmingham is everyone, if you are coming from out of town, like especially in our circumstance, being a band, everyone is just clinging to you as a way to escape.
That's what I felt like.
We hung out with and smoked weed with.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the lady.
Yeah, because she was again super sweet, and then
sweet,
we smoked a joint with her.
Talking
and
more.
we started talking, and we were like, "Oh my god!" Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the vibe I got is like either you take me or I'm taking your car and getting the fuck out of this town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just like stayed in my car most of the time.
Who's that man up in the trees? The glimmer in his eyes says, won't you follow me? How wise he must be. But he scolds me gingerly. I can't prescribe serenity. And then he looks into my eyes. Why? 16 balloons dancing in twos. Tell me the story but never share the news. It just makes me blue. Could you tell me what to do? But I know it isn't true, because we're not supposed to know. No. Grow. Let's grow. He's the man who takes my hand. Tell me the meaning but never share the plan. It's all been contraband. Is it too beautiful to stand? Love throughout the land. I'll do is stick it to the man. What till they can't wait to see. Over the bridge into the forest we sing a melancholy hymn, but I don't know what it is. And what you get out of this, and then it takes me by surprise. Why try? Let's ride. What's the point of going mad? The world is shit, but life ain't bad. Let's all pretend we're sad.
But when you guys were describing the John David experience, where he was talking about the year of just having acid, and then you guys were talking about people with past lives and bodies, that I relate to that, dude, because in my 20s somehow I got connected to like a dude who had liquid acid, and I just was in that experimental stage where I'm like, sure, I'll just start buying bottles of it, and that was what my house felt like, because I was always like, I can only take like 1 or 2 of these, but my friends were like, I want 10 at a time. I'm like, come on over, I'll give it to you for free as long as I can see what 10 looks like on you, because maybe I want 10 one day. And so my house became this little like experimental place. It wasn't a place where I would dose anybody. They would come over and be like, here's $100. And I'd just be like, keep it, man. As long as you stay here and I know you're safe, And we would have some amazing times. I would take a little bit, they would take a bunch. And but eventually I went to prison. So the fun ended there. But all my friends that tripped with me and all my friends, they actually like showed up in court as character witnesses, like to prove that my intent was not malicious, that it was like, hey, we were all kind of on this trip together, he just had like the stuff that we wanted, and then
with like acid, isn't it like attempted manslaughter depending on where you are?
Exactly. So they were gonna give me 15 to life, and I got like Saul Goodman of lawyers here in San Antonio. And this dude got me shock probation. I mean, praise Allah, Jesus, Buddha, whoever worked magic to get me out of prison. I spent 6 months in prison, dude. I was supposed to spend a minimum of 5 years before I could have any appeals or anything. But they were going to give me 15 to life, dude, because I had a bottle of acid when I got caught.
God damn it, man. Like, and then like here in Texas, some drunk little white boy can
Literally.
kill, can murder some people driving in his car and get off scot-free.
Yeah.
No harm at all.
Oh, before me, this is kind of dark, but before me being tried was a child molester, and they let the child molester go with 3 years deferred probation. And I walked out of that courtroom in cuffs and went straight to prison. So I'm like, this is a fucked up system. Like all my friends are here being like, we had a good time. He never raped us, not once.
There's no one's lives being ruined forever.
No trauma involved.
No diddling. There was no diddling.
Yeah.
We cuddled a little bit, but like it was cool.
It's consensual.
Yeah, we were crying when we did it. It was not sexual.
Yeah.
We were we were like urging each other to come back into the light. But it was such an interesting time. This was like 2009, so it was quite a lifetime ago for me. But I relate to that so much, like the Harvard Psychedelic Club, Timothy Leary being the enemy of the state. Like there's a while I felt that for myself, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, guys, you got to come with me and tell this judge like I am not Timothy Leary, you know? Like I'm just a broke dude on this journey trying to find some cool shit, you know?
John wanted to
Listening to weird music. But I definitely am appreciative of the life I have now and like the freedom that I have. You know what I mean? Having that taken away from you is like the pandemic doesn't have shit on prison, dude. Like the quarantine doesn't have shit on that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can leave the room and go to other parts of the house at least.
Yeah, yeah. It was
take a walk.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a name, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. This is a very interesting conversation from the beginning, dude. And this is the first time I've interviewed since March. So I'm like, really, I probably am way off my game. I don't know what this is going to sound like.
You're doing just fine.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm very comfortable, but I wasn't sure this was gonna happen, man, because I got COVID in the other room, and then we have thunderstorms out here, so I'm like, if we'll even have internet.
I'll be sure to sanitize after this.
Yeah. You might pass it through the screen.
Yeah, come through the
5G is gonna.
5G.
You guys put your chip up to the screen, and I'll put my chip up to the screen.
No way, this is our microchip right here.
There we go.
Yeah. That's actually how I transfer all my contacts. I just like bump it, boop, and I'm like, yeah, dude, they're all here. They're all here. I remember people's numbers now.
People like, oh, you get your microchip. I'm like,
bro,
bro,
carry it in
had
the
a
pocket.
microchip.
you have
10
a
years.
phone. You're the one who's like tweeting all this QAnon shit. That's why they're tracking you.
Yeah. You don't.
Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
All social media is just a way to track you, basically.
You're liking all these like weird nationalist, like supremacist pages. I think that's why you're on a list. Not because you got a fucking vaccine.
Yeah, and you're watching weird porn, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's like there's too much out there that shows the true you. There's no way they needed to chip you, and if they did, I don't want to be without the chip. I mean, we all know how that ends, you know. I want that chip, baby. I'm talking about eating, you know.
Yeah.
But
I want chips, plural.
I want chips with my chip. Please.
Yeah.
I'll take
You
more.
guys are complaining about one chip. I want a lot. I'm hungry.
I'll have a bowl.
Yeah, I do not want to be the only one without it.
Not micro dips.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Yes. See, that's the problem. People aren't looking at that.
Like the little bits of the chip left at the bottom of the bag, you got to just get like the right amount of dip on there.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. It's an art. That's better.
But you know,
Earlier today, I took some crumbs, I just put in my mouth, and I like just kicked back a little bit of salsa. It just happened in my mouth.
I do it non-conventional like that too, though. Like I'll eat a taco, and then instead of putting it on the taco because it'll make it soggy, just pour a little in the mouth. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that with like ketchup packets
Genius.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Always better with ketchup packet. Eat the fry, just like go take a little hit of the ketchup packet.
Yeah, that's the pre-vaccine. Yeah. Because all the hands that have just been like, ooh, this one's sticky, and then you're just like, oh well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool, man. I got antibodies.
Yeah.
Well, hell, you guys. I kept you longer than I thought I would, and I'm really appreciative of you sitting down and kind of like reacclimating me into conversating with.
Thanks for hitting us up. We love talking to people, man.
Awesome, man.
Nick, hop in. Do a sign off with us.
Come here, boyo.
Just got home from Houston.
Nice, man. Well, I'm glad you made it home safe.
Yeah, what y'all been talking about?
Quarantine him.
5G.
Drug.
Gee, chips.
Nice.
all
Yeah,
types of
we're all
chips.
chipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got them in our pockets. We got them in our pantries.
Yeah.
Poker chips, that is.
Yeah. That's good.
We're
You got
big-
you got a built-in poker night every night in your house, so that's pretty cool. That's
And
pretty
we
cool.
actually go to bingo every Tuesday.
Go to bingo at
We see
Luby's.
GG. We see GG at bingo every.
I did just find out about the bingo hall in Anderson.
Yeah, oh yeah, that thing's
Have
got
you-
big money.
Dude, have you been
Yeah,
there?
I haven't been in.
Dude, apparently it's
I see
BYOB. You smoke cigs inside.
Oh, we gotta go.
I want to go to bingo.
You guys should play the bingo hall. That'd be
I
great.
know.
That's a new
Yeah,
Dude, rent out the
Acid
bingo hall.
live at the bingo hall.
Let's
You
see the
must-
flyer for that one. Just
60 plus.
a bunch of old people with their face melting.
Like,
Bingo.
come relive the 60s.
Like that.
That'd be
This is
awesome.
when my boss came to see us play. Well, we were doing a Velvet Underground
Oh yeah,
show,
that was fun.
and she was like sitting right up front, and she's like old, and she had like her hands on her ears for most of the show. I was like, oh no! And then after the show, she was like, that was great.
Yeah, just a little shrill.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like, oh, she doesn't like it.
Yeah. She stayed for the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, she did. And then she's like, it's 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed.
Yeah. It's
Like the night has just begun.
yeah, it's always trippy though when you see that age group there and enjoying themselves, you know? You're like, is it did they
Our
We're
shows-
definitely a band that has a lot of old heads that come through.
Dude,
Yeah,
totally.
it's like-
that couple that always shows up at our shows.
Yeah.
We had an older couple that made us like little magnets.
We had this
Yeah,
one
our fridge.
old
That's super sweet
dude,
of them.
a
They were-
band too, that was like, remember we played Electric Church benefit, and these three old dudes showed up, were like, we're in a psych band. Here's our CD.
Oh
And, like,
yeah, we have the CD in the van.
Yeah.
still.
How was it?
Like psych. We have like tons of children's bands too, which I love.
How was that album though? I'm curious. It's alright. It's alright.
It sounds like psych music.
Yeah.
Like some old
Guitar
dudes
dads.
fucking-
It was
Guitar
like
dads.
that, like psychedelic song titles, and then
Yeah.
That psychedelic is such a vague term for a lot of people.
anything with colors and reverb.
I don't even like to describe our music to psychedelic because I feel like that
It's
a
so
lot of
much
people
more.
are just like
There's some
mentally-
psychedelic songs.
Oh no, we definitely do.
Yeah.
have
No,
that
you're
shit.
right.
I feel like a lot of people, if you just tell them that, they'll be like, oh.
But you're also
Oh.
saying your new album is you're throwing in samples and loops. So I would
Yeah,
say
Yeah, well, we're trying to,
but that's also how
incorporate-
kind of all your albums are. Not in the
Yeah.
sense that they're samples and loops, but in the sense that you guys are kind of always evolving your style and your sound and playing what you feel at the moment.
Right,
You know.
Definitely.
Next
I think it's a
album-
natural progression.
The next
Yeah.
album that's gonna come out is like a punk album too. So
Yes.
but it also had tons of samples on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And are you?
It's just about leaving them unexpected, like
Yeah.
you don't want anyone who's listening to have any sort of like idea of what will happen when they press play on our new record.
Yeah.
I think that's how I
gotta
feel about
find
all your
out.
records.
I don't know what it's gonna sound like other than that.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to snag up the Most Oddest Thing vinyl, and I love it.
Oh,
It gets played a lot around here. My kids love it because they've heard it a bunch,
Oh,
and now
yeah.
they're super familiar with it. So
Oh, right on.
That's sick.
That's nice to hear.
at first they're like, "What are you listening to, man?" And now they're just like, "Yeah, they can sing along," because I mean,
Honestly,
Oh.
I vibe with that. My dad used to do
That
the same
makes me
thing. I'd be
feel
like,
all
this
warm.
sucks. And now I'm like, I love those records.
yeah, exactly. Because
A lot of-
it doesn't
records.
hit like Katy Perry or Lizzo or whatever they'll find themselves like drawn to, and then I throw it on and they're like, I just ruined their day. The next time they hear it, they come in and like, Dad, dance with me. It's like the best thing.
Nice.
good,
That
yeah.
means a lot.
Nostalgia now. So, well, I look forward to seeing the evolution, man, and
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
it
we hope to
keep
talk
happening.
again.
Yeah, you're in San Antonio, right?
Glad I caught the end of it.
Pretty much outside of Bandera. It's like 25, 30 minutes northwest of San Antonio.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, we'll be down there next month. We haven't announced
Oh,
the tour
cool.
yet, but we're
Well,
Again.
awesome, man. Well, I'm vaxxed too, so I'll
yeah,
I'll be able to show up.
That booster. I'll take two.
Dude, I want as many boosters as I can get.
Yeah,
get
I want one in each arm
Daily boosters.
so I can be strong.
Yeah, we got to get everybody else vaccinated first, I feel like, before we get the boosters.
Yeah,
Very
that's
true.
true.
Probably.
Well, also the boosters are going out to the old people first. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're the ones who got vaccines first.
Kids,
Yeah.
get them kids vax somehow, man. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
ethical, but man, that's what I'm.
What's
Are they
They,
kids
they get
first?
other vaccines, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
eat their
know
boogers and like stick their finger in their butt and stuff. Like they're good.
why. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Kids are gross.
Exactly.
get each other on the playground.
All right, you
Well, you
guys.
know.
Well, I guess I will hit you up in a couple more years and we'll get caught up.
Yeah. Hit us
Look,
up
yeah.
in 2025. We'll see what's
Right
going
on.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, y'all stay safe.
Yeah. All right.
Hey.
Good talking to you, Chaz.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
Bye-bye.
This is Acid Carousel signing off.
Must Be Tight by EMAPEA. Available in our Bandcamp collection. How about that? You got it served raw tonight. Just still steaming. Like I said, very unseasoned. I promise to do better next time. For our next conversation, I will be talking to Michael Roberts of Lost Honey Records and Wooden Dinosaur. He's got his own project out. Really interested in hearing about his evolution and showing you guys his music. Acid Carousel, thank you so much for reacclimating me back into society this way. It's been a minute, and I definitely felt super comfortable with you guys, which is why it became that sort of interaction. But maybe with Michael Roberts, I'll keep it a little more professional. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, you guys. Should I announce? I'm going to announce it. This Thursday, which at the time of this airing is yesterday, I will be talking to my favorite rapper, Spose. That's it. I mean, that's my announcement. It's like, for me, really big deal. For a few other people, also a really big deal. Shout out Randy and Carly. And, you know, it's one of those things where I didn't know how much longer, like how many episodes I was going to put out of this thing. And then Spose agreed to do this and we locked the date down. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this. Like, if this leads me to be able to talk to Spose, like if what I'm doing is acceptable in this community so much so that I can talk to my favorite rapper, then I'm going to see where this takes me and just keep on going with it. I apologize about the hiatus. I am doing my best right now to book as many bands as I can. If you guys know any awesome bands that need promoting, send them my way. I'll listen to their stuff. I will determine whether or not it's appropriate for what we're doing here on this format. But as a listener, you probably know. Feel free. Email me, trialbyerrorvarietyshow@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And as always, follow that golden rule.